Tickets? Tickets, please. The show of your life, and subsequently the end of your life, is about to begin. Come to Italy, they said. The pasta is rich, the biscotti is toasted just right, and the gondolas float down rivers of the finest wine. One thing they failed to mention was the pesky infestation of demons. Cue the music. And in 3, 2, 1, I already forgot it.
You will be soon as big as a giant, or like all the others, dead.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
That's feng shui.
A match made in a bathroom. Just floating into the void. Yep.
Yep. And yep.
This is the most notes that I've ever taken for a movie.
Really?
Before. Yep.
I have, I don't know, 10, 12 tabs open here. And none of them relate to this film.
No, mine don't either. I have a Joe Jackson video on YouTube. I'm looking at...
Is that the baseball player?
No, not Shoeless Joe Jackson,
Okay.
the 80s singer.
Nope, don't know him either. You sure he didn't play baseball?
He sang Steppin' Out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not going to sing it.
Come on, give me some... No, I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
just said I'm not going to sing. I'm just out in a cornfield with a piano. Wait, am I thinking of the right thing?
Sure.
Who was Field of Dreams about? Was that a real baseball player, or is that somebody they made up?
I think yes.
Who was that guy?
Kevin Costner?
No, the guy that actually... Oh, no. I'm thinking of his dad, I guess. Oh, man, I'm looking it up.
Why?
Because there's no reason not to get more complicated. I also have like 20 tabs open.
It is easy to start looking at the Italians and just get pulled in so many different directions.
Just untangling demons, Demons 2, Demons 3, all that stuff is confusing.
I found some stuff on Wikipedia to talk about, but...
Yeah, I also dipped into Wikipedia. Yeah, because it's confusing, like... Do we want to start talking about it now?
That's what we came here for, right?
Well, let's tell everybody who we are first, and then we'll really dig in.
All right, well, we are watching... What year is this? Damn it, I was trying to make a joke, but 1985. Dario Argento presents Demons.
A Lamberto Bava joint.
This has there's 5 different writers.
Oh, yeah. There is no plot, really.
No, what plot there is the same as the movie that they're watching at the movie theater.
Yeah. I actually really love that they don't give you much. They just start with the grossness.
And I'm fine with
almost
that.
Immediately. Yes. I also wish that the movie that they were watching was a, feature length, because I would watch that too.
I was reading on the Wikipedia there that they were actually talking about trying to use some of Lucio Fulci's films,
footage
as the movie that they were watching at the theater.
Right. Yes.
It says here in Wikipedia, Dardano and Bava took their 25-page treatment for the film to producer Fabrizio De Angelis. Let me stop right there and say that
perfect.
I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm not sorry. I will continue to get all of these names wrong, and I will probably continue making fun of said names.
You can't say that you didn't right off the bat let people know. So
right.
That just means no one can get offended.
Sure. Or if you are, then turn it to something like a Disney Plus radio or something, You came here to listen about face peeling,
zombie
squirt goop action. Well, this is
zombie squirt.
Zombie squirt.
Tim, they're not zombies. They're demons. Remember? Demons. It's the name of the movie. I mean, they almost share, not really a lot of qualities with zombies.
You're right. They're grosser. They transform more.
Yeah, they do.
I love this film. Let's just get it out there.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen this in 10 years, at least.
I watch it every once in a while, but it's more of it's easy to kind of lose interest, I think, even though there's lots of action going on. Like I said, there is, Nostradamus's tomb,
which doesn't belong in a museum, I guess, is just out in a...
Yeah. They are out at midnight, just on dirt bikes, I guess.
That's what you do back then.
Just tearing up cemeteries?
Didn't you do that back in the 80s?
Oh, well, I guess, yeah, I did. Not on a dirt bike.
No.
Okay, you're right. But that was when I was 17. These are adults. They're at least in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
Also, Jerry in the movie is...
Chrome Dome?
I'm going to try to pronounce his name because he is going to come up again. It's actually pronounced Michaela. Michaela Suave.
Rico, Michaela Suave.
Sounds delicious.
It's not Michelle?
It's not Michelle.
Okay.
You can say Michelle, I guess, if you want to, because that is how it's spelled. We got to get into it because I need to talk about
talk about him.
Both of his characters, the mask, all of that.
Mm-hmm. To finish up here, just on this little part of Wikipedia, film producer Fabrizio De Angelis, who wanted to use the footage from Lucio's films as the film within the film to cut costs.
Right. Yeah.
I wish there was a little bit more of demons in the movie, but there is a lot of screaming that goes back and forth. There's a lot of fun.
Oh my God, the screaming.
the screaming.
These Italian girls really got some pipes on them.
Well, they're opera singers. I just assume they're all opera singers.
Yeah. What if Tony the Pimp could sing opera? That would be fucking awesome.
I have 30 minutes to talk about Tony the Pimp.
Tony the Pimp. Oh, Lord.
Tony, the guy who played Tony the Pimp, which is Bobby, what's his name?
Bobby Rose.
Yeah, Bobby Rhodes, which is a great name still. Does not sound like an Italian name. But if Bobby Rhodes actually recorded his own English soundtrack for himself, it fits.
The voice does look like the guy. Yeah. Perfectly. And I just have to imagine that Fred Williamson was busy because that is peak Williamson he made so many of these Italian movies. But
Demons doesn't necessarily have any Americans in it.
No, it doesn't. The closest thing that I have to it is the main character, Barberini. What's his name?
Barbarino.
I want to turn that I into an O so bad.
Urbano Barberini.
Urbano. He plays George. Hi, I'm George. He says that to the girl, and it is just so clearly not his voice. And he's our
hero.
Yeah, he's our final guy.
I saw him and I thought Michael Anthony Hall at first. And by the end of the film, he's like a Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah, for sure. Driving a dirt bike and with a samurai sword.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I remember that this is the best looking that this movie has ever. This is the best version that I've ever seen.
Okay.
Just in the Blu-ray version. And I guess some of that stuff, just kind of some of the stuff in the background, I didn't really notice watching this on old VHS tapes and stuff. But I think at the very beginning, did we introduce ourselves yet?
No.
Okay.
No, we didn't.
We need to, because this is going to be, after a certain point, we're not looking back.
No,
so.
And in fact, we're already so scrambled.
Yes, we need to kind of take a breath, We're all excited because it's an Italian movie. We love this is probably our favorite
I agree.
subgenre, don't you think? Italian gloopy horror movies.
I wish we could just hang out in Italian land for a while.
Oh man. Yep, Italian land.
Well, let's tell our audience right now
Okay.
that for one, today we're watching Demons, but we decided off air that we are going to make this a what I'm calling the DADF.
Okay.
The Dario Argento double feature.
I like that a lot,
All right.
even though he didn't direct this movie, but still, his stank is all over it.
he didn't, and he didn't direct the second one either.
Right.
But our guy, Lamberto Bava, did, correct?
Uh-huh. Correct. This was a huge success when it was released, so they almost immediately started filming Demons 2, but the weird thing is, it's like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. A lot of the same cast members come back for the second one in different roles. I have not seen that one in a long time.
I have not either.
It's basically the same story. There's one setting, which is like an apartment building, and I think the demons are getting to you through VCRs now instead of theaters. So they just kind of changed
They've upgraded.
I could be wrong, because I think also Demons 2 doesn't have much of a plot to it. So,
okay.
But again, we're really not here for the plot. We're here for the baby teeth being pushed out by demon teeth. That is like, I love it. And she's just groaning the entire time. Oh. Really cool.
Hey, well, while we're at it, welcome to the
Hi.
Welcome to the God damn it, I had it. The Moratoriamo. How about that? Welcome to the Moratoriamo.
Moratoriano. That's like Italian.
I was trying. I even screwed up our own name.
Yeah, you did.
I'm Timmy Cornmangiani.
Oh, whoa. How do you even spell that?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Huh.
But you can call me Timmy.
My name does not easily
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
What do you got for yourself? Introduce yourself.
Jayciano?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
If I can interest you in that? Or maybe, how about Jaysani?
Jaysani.
This is...
Yeah, you sound like a refreshing drink.
Mm-hmm. Let me write that down.
Just take you right in.
Like a seltzer.
I was going with Jason.
Oh, just kind of like my name, but with a accent mark on it?
Right. There's 6 of them.
Jason.
6 accent marks that I wrote down on your name.
Well,
there's only 5 letters in your name, but I wrote 6 accent marks just to...
Okay. Just to punch it up a little bit. Well, we'll work on that.
All right. By the end of the episode, you'll have a better last name than...
Yep. That's a promise from me to you. I guarantee it. The Men's Warehouse guy.
It's gonna fit you like a cheap suit. So, Demons.
Yeah.
Lamberto Bava directed.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, for writing credits, we have Dardano Sacchetti, Dario Argento, Lamberto Bava, and Franco Farini.
I think he wrote Once Upon a Time in America.
Yes.
The Sergio Leone.
Yes. Never seen
gangster movie.
Never seen it.
It is, I've seen it before. It is, it's like tops 2 hours, and it's like, just multiple generations of people, and it's good. It's just really long, but it's got an awesome soundtrack.
This movie has an awesome soundtrack.
I love it. The guy that's credited for the music, oh man, I don't have his name anywhere. He is actually the one of the founding members of Goblin, which is a band that Dario Argento discovered, and they do the soundtrack for a bunch of his movies. They even do, he produced Dawn of the Dead Romero's Dawn of the Dead.
You can hear the Dawn of the Dead
Yes.
in the music in this thing.
There's two different soundtracks for Dawn of the Dead, and you can definitely tell. I do prefer the Goblin version, but and Demons is the same. It does not disappoint.
This is fun. It's upbeat.
Yeah, it is.
It's got a good feel to it. I feel like I'm trapped in the 80s when I'm watching this, when I'm listening to this.
I mean, we'll get to it, but the punks, and I'm putting heavy quotes on that, the punks are listening to, I mean, they're in a station wagon, dressed like, I don't know, they look like they're going to audition for like a new version of West Side Story or something.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds like they're listening to Joe Jackson. And I kind of put them both together while I was watching the movie, and yeah, it syncs up pretty well.
That's awesome. I swore that when they come on screen and when they're in their car, that the closed captioning said like heavy goth music.
Yeah.
And then it was playing this Billy Ocean shit. I was
it's like Christopher Cross or something. Yeah. They're basically existing outside of the plot for a long time. The two,
and why it's weird to introduce somebody that late in the film, just to come in because they ran out of people in the theater to kill, so they had to bring people inside
some demon fodder. I don't know, but they are good for a couple of laughs. So.
Oh yeah.
So the movie begins with what is the name of the main girl?
Cheryl
and
Hannah, which Hannah is Argento's daughter.
Yes, she is the older sister of Asia.
But she has been in Jack. She did not go on to do a lot.
I have a feeling this movie might have been part of that, because there's a point where she is like, you know, a like Sam Raimi level of goop is just like poured into her open mouth, all over her.
Yep.
She was like, Dad, please, I don't ever want to do this again. Yeah, Dardano Sacchetti.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk about him for a while too, so...
Well, he basically wrote all of our favorite Italian horror movies, so...
Do we need to make a new podcast that's just based on Italian horror films?
Oh my God, we'd have such a hard time with the names. We'd have to like learn Italian if we were going to do that.
I think that's the way we learn Italian.
I guess so. You're right. I'm just looking at the IMDb for Killer Crocodile 2, and it looks amazing.
It looks incredible. I want to see this.
Richard Crenna is in that. Deborah Carr? Wait a minute.
I don't think this is the same Richard Crenna. This is Richard Anthony Crenna.
Oh. Not to be confused. Oh my God.
Not to be confused.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Picture number 3 on Crocodile 2.
The only avatar.
It looks incredible.
Oh my God. Ennio Girolami? So that scene of him with like a kind of Reba McEntire hair, contemplating like a buzzsaw, that is from Warriors of the Wasteland.
Oh, awesome.
But then he's like the mayor in the Bronx.
1990, the Bronx Warrior?
Yes, yes. I'm gonna get rid of these other confusing sequels, and I'm going to leave Joe Jackson open for a little bit, because that might come back around.
I am watching this, and everybody can watch this for free on Popcorn Flicks.
Oh, cool.
You don't have to sign up for anything, where I think I watched it on Shudder before.
Right. And also, if you guys have Shudder, you can watch Joe Bob Briggs, which that version that he's watching is exactly like the other one that's on Shudder, but it has his kind of commentary on those little sections in between. So made me laugh out loud a couple of times.
Awesome.
So right off the bat,
Right off the bat, we get into some great music. Is what we get into.
Yes. Yeah, the opening is kind of like a, not Daft Punk, but it is very kind of mid-'80s Italian sleaze music, I guess.
Sure.
It's like electronic. It's not disco. It's not rock per se.
I swear, in this opening song, though, I heard the theme for Inspector Gadget.
Oh, yeah. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, that was bugging me. Thank you. I'm going to write that down. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's like the Italian Inspector Gadget.
Additional music by Rick Springfield. Motley Crue.
Oh, my God. When I saw Rick Springfield, I was like, what?
It has Motley Crue. It's actually in the movie that they're watching when they're tearing through the cemetery.
I fucking love that song. I that's a lesser known.
Yeah, Save Our Souls.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite Motley Crue song, and I've forgotten about it for 20 years.
Yeah, kind of gets your blood pumping a little bit.
I knew how much of a Crue head you were, too.
Oh, for sure. They did Shout at the Devil, which sounds very similar to
Very similar, yeah. This also has Billy Idol.
Yep.
And Saxon is down there. Is that John Saxon's band?
I don't know, but John Saxon, it looks like his brother is the one that's making out with Liz. Liz! That guy sounds like I mean, I hate to keep on saying the Italian version of blank, but he really sounds like the Italian version of like Mr. Burns. Liz!
I was confused about that. Was that?
Yeah.
Did she take her dad, her blind father, to a movie theater
to make out with guys?
It looks like it. If she just pimped herself out, I swear this guy was a well-dressed plumber.
Yeah. Plumber. Wait, what do we know about Italian plumbers? They jump on turtles. And again, I think we've kind of touched on this before. He's wearing great big womany sunglasses. I mean, they're kind of blind. I don't know what you call those. Like he got his eyes dilated and then they went to the movies. But yeah, I don't really understand that. And that guy does look like John Saxon. I'm looking at him right now. He kind of looks like if John Saxon and Powers Booth had a baby.
There you go. Yeah. Subsequently, they both kind of had the same hairline.
Yep. Creeping back.
So we open with this chick. Is this Hannah? This is the other chick.
Yeah, not Hannah. Oh man.
What did I say her name was? Oh, geez.
Already derailed.
Yep.
She's the main character. Cheryl.
That's it. But she's taking a subway, and we're not trying to pretend this is New York, right? We are pretending this is Italy.
That is Italy. With like the least tough punks in the world. Like,
well, I think that's what they're known for, right?
I guess so. They're being kind of, I don't know. I don't want to like
trendy punks.
Yeah.
The opening scene with her getting off the subway, though, and being tracked by a half metal face.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of course, since I already brought up Anthony Michael Hall in Weird Science. He's got a half a metal plate on his face.
Oh, sure.
I thought he was carrying around like an iron. It looked like he wanted to just iron her clothes or something. Well, he looked menacing.
My attention was kind of wandering as it does, but did she like drop a bag or something? Was he trying to return something, or was he just was that the thing that he was just holding those Metropole tickets in?
Yeah, I don't think she dropped anything.
He had something in his hand anyway.
Yeah, it was just weird, but it's just menacing. He's following her all around the subway just to give her a ticket for the Metropole.
Yeah, just a random guy handing out tickets.
That does not have any lines throughout the entire film.
No.
We see him later.
Yeah, you do see him like in a reflection, but then he's not really there, is he? I mean, I kind of sort of have a theory about him because he also is Jerry in the movie.
Right.
In the movie that they're watching. So maybe we'll bring him up again. I love that mask kind of, and when it's in a close up, it's kind of like fused to his face a little bit. You're right. It does seem very much like Weird Science.
Weird Science? Who? Going through the subway there did kind of remind me of like American Werewolf in London feel. You know, It just has that long corridor, long tube.
They're never not creepy.
Yeah. For some reason, they're always vacant. I mean, they're totally empty, devoid of people, even though this is midday.
Right. By the way, on that note, nobody signed anything in these like outdoor shots, you know, with the girls like talking about going to the movie and stuff. All of the people that are walking by are just like looking dead down the barrel of the camera. Like it is so, I've never paid attention to that before in like a crappy, VHS version, but, everybody is just looking directly at whatever action is happening. And I kind of enjoy that.
I wonder if in Italy they have more of a loose,
kind of
like rogue filmmaking here.
Right.
Is different here.
Well, actually, I think that's Berlin.
Oh, yeah, I did read that.
All of the outside shots are in Berlin, and all of the interior stuff is a studio in Rome. So,
gotcha. So Cheryl goes back and she gets a second ticket for her friend.
Right.
And they're like skipping out of night classes to go to this. They don't even know what it is. It's just an adventure to go see an opening possibly for a new movie at a place they've never been or never heard of. But this is pre-GPS, pre-internet.
Yeah,
they just walk around for a while until they actually find it.
Right. Unless they cut out a scene where they were on the subway for like 2 hours or something.
Yeah, and it's nighttime. They've been walking for hours.
Yeah. And they both bitch about everything. You would think that would come up, but I guess.
There is a lot of people going into this movie theater, but they don't know what they're going to watch.
No.
They don't set anything up.
No.
But I want to talk about the chick who is the hostess.
Her credit is the usherette.
Usherette. What a great way to put it.
Her name's Ingrid the Usherette.
I thought she was in on it. Still, even throughout the film, I thought she was in on it.
She is wearing, like, that first scene where she is, like, being sexy in the mirror. Which I get the feeling that they just told her to walk around and be mysterious and sexy because that's all she does. She has like one line in the whole movie, but that scene is really weird. She's like looking at her hose, or like her stocking in the mirror. Something is like that room is flooding. There's like dripping water. She looks like Will Ferrell in Elf. She's basically wearing the exact same costume as Will Ferrell is wearing in Elf. And hang on, I'm going to send you a little comparison that I just made.
Oh, great.
We're gonna see.
Why did you crop Billy Barty's face on her body?
Well, that was just bonus. But yeah, it's the same costume.
That is hilarious.
But anyway, Ingrid the Usherette, or Ingrid the Elf, her name is Nicoletta Elmi.
Nicoletta.
And she was a like Italian kid star. She was in Deep Red in 75. Mm-hmm. So that was 10 years before. And she's like 20 in this. So she was about 10 in Deep Red.
She was also in Flesh for Frankenstein.
Yes. Which is what's that guy? D'Alessandro, I think is his name.
Joe D'Alessandro.
Yeah, he's a Andy Warhol director buddy. He used to hang out with Andy Warhol.
Yes, we talked about him a long time ago. We've spent way too much time away from the Italians.
I guess so. Just forgot how to pronounce everything for one thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she was in a movie called Footprints on the Moon. Wasn't that a song?
Being Caught Between the Moon and New York City. Is that what you're thinking of? That also sounds like the song they were.
Christopher Cross?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is Christopher Cross. Yep. It was making me laugh. I looked up Michaela, the guy with the half metal face. He directed Della Morte Dell'Amore, which is Cemetery Man. I love that movie. It's on my list for,
Oh, yeah.
We can't just take this giant Italian detour, but don't worry, we'll get back to it later on.
That's why I think the Moratoriamo might be a good idea.
Can we just change the name to that?
If anybody wants to fund us talking about Italian films for hours and hours and weeks and possibly years, you can contact me at ...
You get an ellipsis?
Yeah. If you want me to go into my spiel, I will, or I'll save it for later.
We'll save it for later.
We got to keep watching this film because we're never going to get through this because I have too many tangents to talk about.
Let's address our characters as they're coming through the line here. So I was going to say this guy, the shut up guy.
Shut up. He is a dick to his wife.
He is a dickhead.
It's his anniversary.
Oh my God. Did they say that really?
Yes.
I missed that.
He's like, this is our anniversary. And his wife is like, you know what I wanted for my anniversary was a little bit of dick, but I guess I got a big one.
Oh, brother. These two. They're like the Ropers. They're like Italian Ropers.
Or Married with Children.
Or Married. Yeah, you're right.
What was their name?
Al
Bundy's.
And the Bundys. Anyway, those two characters, those bitchy characters, are basically the same characters from Escape 2000. Whatever that Bronx movie is. It also is not confusing at all that every movie has 10 different names. But they are the bickering couple in that movie. And then they get set on fire by a guy commanded by old Peanut Head. What's his name? Henry Silva. So
great.
That's all
old
going
Peanut
on.
Head. That's what we know him as.
Yeah. He actually was Mr. Peanut for a couple of years. And then some disturbing images were uncovered of him.
Of his nuts.
Yes. You're salty. Also, there's a fake Coke machine that will come into play. If you look, that Coke machine follows the action around a lot. Like, they'll just turn around and they'll be there.
Characters. Hey, guys, you thirsty?
You want to forget that I look like a Coke machine, that the words Coke have been curiously blanked out? That Coke machine's the real hero of the movie.
So in this is like an Art Nouveau movie theater.
Yeah, it has deco stuff. It is cool looking from the outside.
Yeah. And it's cool looking on the inside. There's an AC/DC poster on the wall.
I paused on a lot of those posters. There's also a very cool Creep Show poster, too, that's in the room with the dirt bike.
Oh, yeah.
That AC/DC poster, it says AC/DC the movie. Did you see that at the bottom?
Oh, no, I did not.
I took a picture. I'm going to send you this. I took a picture of it, and I could not make heads or tails of that. Because do you remember an AC/DC movie?
No, it was called Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, exactly. They make a cameo, or well, at least the van makes a cameo in.
Yeah,
just up on. That is the weirdest looking shot in that movie because that's all that it exists for, is just to show you that this is happening to everybody, and it's also happening to AC/DC.
Yes.
If they had been the heroes of Maximum Overdrive at the end.
Oh.
Holy shit.
No telling what the movie would have become.
Yeah.
You're right.
So next in line behind the bickering couple is
Liz.
Not Liz yet. It's I'm trying to find a name on here. Gosh, do these guys even have okay, it's Fiore Argento. I'm trying to find her boyfriend's name. But just in a little quick shot, it shows the young girl, the really young couple, you know?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Her name's Hannah.
Oh,
and
Hannah.
His name, shit. Yeah.
He doesn't have a headshot on here, so I couldn't figure out who he is. He looks like he should have one of those little straw boater hats on with the ribbon and be licking a giant lollipop, because he looks like he's 10 years old. And he acts
That's
like
awesome.
he's 10 years old.
Yes. I'm trying to find my woman,
Yeah, he's like
Hannah!
shaking people.
Hannah! He just running down the hall.
Takes a slap from Tony the Pimp. It doesn't take, though. It doesn't help at all. You know, they say a slap from Tony the Pimp is like, I don't know, 3 in the bush or something. That turned dirty and I really didn't mean it to.
Really?
There's our 2 main guys. George, such an unlikely name for him. George and Ken.
As you said, he's, "Hi, I'm George."
I'm not creepy at all.
Kind of sounded like Tracy Walter in Conan the Destroyer.
I wonder if Tracy Walter did all the ADR for this movie. He just comes over to that Coke machine. He's like, "Here, take a sniff of my Drakkar Noir while I fucking get this fix this Coke machine for you."
But like I said, he looks very weak. And
Ken, his friend, looks like he will just be enjoying watching George have sex later on that night because he is not. He basically says "ew" when the girls go by. You know, maybe that's all just my interpretation, but he doesn't look like he's that into them.
Anyway, so we have Liz and her blind father.
Yeah,
we guess.
Those glasses, those are a little better, but still very womany. I think it's kind of how they go up in the corners, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So
a little fishtail on them.
Does it explicitly say that is his daughter, or
no? We just hopefully assume that she's just not cheating on her older husband
while he's sitting within.
Who is highly in tune with, I guess he senses the mask. So there's that metal mask that's hanging from the motorcycle handle, just precariously out there that everybody's going to want to grab and put on their face. And that's exactly what happens with one of the hookers. What's the hooker's name?
Rosemary is the one that the sex worker that picks it up.
Yeah. The sex worker. Very nice way to put that.
Hooker sounds better in this. I mean, she is with her pimp and, you know.
Why did the pimp take his 2 prize bitches to the theater?
Also, it looks like they are having a ball. I mean, they're high. I mean, they smoke a joint in the theater later.
They get called out before she even lights it.
Yes.
One of them is all actively smoking, and the other girl goes just light it. And Ingrid, the usherette, is just like trolling the freaking the aisle, just waiting for her.
You can tell she's getting a thrill out of, like, you know, just wandering around and just looking kind of vacuous and sexy. Rosemary is also in Warrior of the Lost World, which does have Fred Williamson in it.
Okay.
That actress's name is Goretta. Okay? Are you with me?
Her profile pic is from this movie.
A lot of the people, this was their one and only claim to fame.
She's been in 23 different things here. Mm-hmm. And it looks like stuff that I might be interested in.
She's great in this movie. Once she does, spoiler alert, if you fuck with the mask, bad things happen. And when she does turn into, when they have all the makeup on her and stuff, that is, I mean, you cannot say that is not legit fucking terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
The choice to use orange eyes was the light hits them, you know, everything's kind of dark in the theater. They just shine when lights on them, you know, and man, I mean, you know, that's why we came in the first place. Was we didn't need a story. We just wanted to see people get picked off one by one by clawed beasts from hell.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Am I not alone in this?
You are not alone.
Okay.
And I think I read that when they were filming this, that they put some sort of reflective of film on their eyes, so when they walk up the aisle or whatever, and the light shining behind them, their eyes glow.
Right.
That's iconic. I mean, it made the box art.
That is Tony the Pimp, right? In the foreground of the box art.
Oh, yes.
Where he's kind of flanked by Rosemary in there. Yeah, so that's the gripey guy, the shut up guy, and Rosemary. And if you look behind, like by Tony's left hand, it really looks like a Deadite, like a Henrietta's face when she kind of turns into that big thing in Evil Dead 2. I just can't imagine that these filmmakers weren't aware of, because Evil Dead, that was 81. So yes, that scene is in the trailer where Tony and the other two demons have the glowing eyes. That shot is fucking awesome. Anyway, this movie just felt very like, later on with the full body demon popping out of someone, that just seemed very like the very end of Evil Dead to me.
Yes.
Not saying they're ripping anything off. If anything, we probably steal more from... I'm just going over my notes. It is so funny that Rick Springfield has the fucking top billing in the music. That just is like...
laugh.
And I don't even know what... Do you know what song that is when it plays?
No. Hey, freaksters and freakettes. It's Tim from the Moratorium. Do you like the sweet sounds of our witty banter in your ears every week? Well, head on over to our Patreon, and for only $3 a month, you can get even more. In the director's cuts of our movie episodes. On average, that's 20 minutes more of our wisecracking, jive-talking, and lip-flapping laughter straight to your ear holes. Go to themoratorium.com and click on our Patreon link, and you'll find 5 awesome tiers with tons of goodies. You can also find our Teespring link on the website for even more awesome merch. Thank you for your support. Now on with the show.
Oh, I do have a note. Liz's husband/dad, he does look like Italian Harry Dean Stanton a little bit.
Yes, he does.
He has deep HDS vibes.
And I had questions about him because he makes it all throughout this film being blind. And when he does finally get attacked by the demon, it goes straight for his eyes.
Right. And he almost has this sort of like Daredevil, like heightened sense.
Yeah.
Except not for his daughter/wife. Like, her knee is brushing up against him while she's making out with Italian John Sachs.
Yes.
That's redundant.
And the noises that they have to be making.
Wet mouth noises. Yep.
And I'm so glad that Italian John Saxon didn't have any lines.
No, he didn't.
He's just there. He doesn't say anything to her. He just shows up, sits next to her, and they start making out.
Just to clarify on that little bit, because that bothers me. It always has bothered me. Who he is, do you think that they arranged that meeting? Or do you think he could just like sense... Because everybody's horny in Italy all the time.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Do you think that was pre-planned, or do you think he saw her, she saw him, and...
It could go either way. I think it was pre-planned that she was planning on meeting him, but...
That would make more sense.
But how did they both end up with tickets?
Oh, you're right.
Who's handing out all these tickets? Was it just a metalhead?
I don't know. Metal face?
I don't know. Metal face?
Now I wish I hadn't asked. Because I don't know how to... I don't know. I don't know.
I might have to call off all of my tangents.
Yeah.
Just so we can get through this film.
I could see easily getting carried away.
We're going to get derailed so many times. And this is a double feature, so we're not going to have a yarn wall for a couple of weeks. It's going to be...
For sure.
A 2-part episode. It has to be.
Yeah.
To catch up on all
that
this
actually
stuff.
Does work out pretty good, because if we have any questions... we know that Demons 2 isn't going to answer them, so we'll probably be just as lost next week.
So I got a big question about the plot point.
Okay.
The main plot of the film is to get these people in the theater to watch this film that is basically mimicking
the events
what is going on in reality. Was this a plan all along?
Well, the only clues to that we have are the creepy usherette who appears to know something. Here's what I think has happened. They have this movie, which doesn't have a title or anything like that, but honestly, I would watch that for 2 hours. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
You know, couple of couples in a graveyard, looks like a church, and they find Nostradamus's tomb. Okay. That is, and again, I just don't think they would have let Nostradamus's tomb. It looks like shit. You know what I mean? Like, It is basically like a crumbling church is what they're walking through.
Yes.
And they look like dumbass kids. You know, if they were like, archaeologists or like scientists or, you know, something like that, then it would make a little more sense. But they're just going there to make out.
And somehow inadvertently find Nostradamus's grave.
Which is just on top of the ground. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's not in a sepulcher or what other cemetery words do I know? Mausoleum. It's not in any of those things.
It's out in the open, in the ruins.
Yeah, exactly.
They pop the lid on it. They find an old book, which is
very Evil Dead-like.
Very Evil Dead-like.
It even has illustrations and red lettering in it. I mean, it basically is the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has a drawing of the mask. The mask is awesome. Whoever made that prop, it just looks so cool and very Gargoyles-like. It looks like Bernie Casey from movie we covered a long time ago, it feels like.
Diana.
Yeah.
So even in the movie, the same as in reality, the unsuspecting person picks up this mask, puts it on their face, and it scratches them. And that scratch unleashes just that scratch.
Yeah.
It's a weak kind of premise.
Right.
But we didn't come here for the story.
No.
We didn't come here for the backstory of, is this Liz's husband or dad?
I mean, that's the burning question right there. I'm more interested in what's going on there than, Nostradamus's tomb. Also, the movie that they're watching does look like a trailer like before Planet Terror or something, like they were purposely trying to... I mean, those trailers that they did for that double feature were meant to look like this, like a grainy grindhouse Italian movie. There's one for a movie called Don't by the guy that did Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. And it looks like this movie, everything's got kind of a blue tinge to it, and people are being blinded, and just very Italian, which would make sense since it was filmed in Italy. I don't know what point I was trying to make there. And yeah, Jerry in the movie is Michaela Soave. Mm-hmm. Boy, it is hard not to say Suave because that's what we're most familiar with.
So why are you trying?
I guess I should just give in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's as that Motley Crue kicks in at the very beginning, there's a narrator that reads that quote, not the cemeteries are cities one, it's the...
It will make cemeteries their cathedrals and tombs of their cities?
Yes.
Or graves of their cities?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is badass, but that's him reading from Nostradamus's book.
Okay.
There's a narrator on the movie that says the sleep of reason gives birth to monsters, which is a name of a
Dr. Seuss
Goya painting.
Okay.
It's the one where I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but he's like asleep at a desk and there's all these bats that are kind of flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty creepy shit to open your movie with. Anyway, I would fucking watch that movie. I wish that was a feature-length movie.
There was no real CGI or anything. They actually had to have filmed this movie beforehand to just play on the screen so our audience could watch it.
Yeah. Movie within a movie.
There has to be a longer version of that they edited down.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, that's what, I mean, what you were talking about earlier, them using like Lucio Fulci footage as the movie within a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad they're not just watching some random, they actually took the time and made the masks go together, and
which was surprising, actually. I expected
to be another confusing cul-de-sac.
Yes.
I like the way that mask looks with the kind of old fabric across it, and she has to tear it off. Yeah. That's cool looking. George looks like he is wetting his pants watching this movie, and he is being comforted by the girl. Also, that guy that he is with, they have a weird relationship, have to.
Oh, yeah.
But for the energy that it takes for him to balance that fucking sweater on his shoulder, just put it back on.
If we failed to mention this earlier, that one of the hooker put the mask on, scraped her cheek. The other hooker, while they're watching the movie, actually stated, did you realize that it happened in the movie just like it happened to her friend?
At least someone is paying attention.
Yes. And everybody else is just, yeah, whatever. I
just love that they are getting out, and like, it's been so long since we've done something, all three of us together. It looks like they're going to see a movie like after they went to the zoo or something.
Right.
I'm into that. Just do some light prostituting every once in a while. And
part-time prostitute.
Yeah. Get told shut up by the shut up guy.
He says whores. He just says whores. And his wife's like, why do you care? He's like,
Exactly.
So Rosemary goes to the bathroom because she's bleeding.
Yes.
And that first, like, pulsating,
boil.
Explosion. The boil explosion. That sets you up right there that it's just going to get gross. If you didn't already know, because it's an Italian horror film, that it's going to get extremely gross.
For sure.
This is going to set you up.
I'm amazed that there's not a maggot in this. I guess the things they're dealing with where we've seen maggots have been dead for a long time. So she is a good actress. I like her. I like her transformation scene, and as the demon, she is like, just gives it a crazy energy. Like, she just acts the hell out of it.
I like it. I dig it. So the other hooker is sent by Tony the Pimp.
Yep.
Say, hey, go check on her.
Yeah. Tony the Pimp has like floating lamb chop sideburns.
They're awesome.
If you can pull that off, do it, because that is a good look for anybody. If you want to be taken seriously.
I don't think I can pull that off.
You don't have what it takes to be a pimp, then, I guess.
I guess not.
Black Italian pimp. The girl in the movie, when she starts screaming, I'm like, oh my God. Can someone kill her, please?
There's a lot of screaming at that point.
She screams more than the people in the real world. And she kind of looks like, is it Darcy from Married with Children? That's our second Married with Children reference. It just doesn't seem like that has anything to do with anything. So the other girl goes to look for Rosemary.
And when she finally finds her in one of the last stalls, and she is completely transformed.
Yes.
And she turns around with some green gloopy.
Yeah. It basically looks like Pert Plus, or like it has kind of a shampoo and conditioner in one look to it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I love how it looks in, everything is kind of that washed out blue,
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a black light. All the bright colors are like super bright. Just very cool looking.
So the other hooker chick is just trying to make her way back to the theater.
Geography in this movie, don't worry about it. Later on, when they start ripping up the chairs and stuff, there's no sense of where they are, really.
No.
So, yeah, she wanders behind the screen. Have you ever been behind a movie screen?
Oh, well, yeah, I worked at the movie theater for 3 years, so I had to go. We stored shit back there.
Right.
And, I guess other people went back there to make out. I never did.
Wow.
Put that out there.
They're really like got into a confessional. When Rosemary's doing that crazy run behind her, like kind of up a little ramp, that looks so creepy.
I dig that.
Just on her face and just like the weird like demon glee she has.
I'm going to kill somebody.
Yeah. She is putting 130% into this movie. I love that actress.
They really start getting into, like you said, the geography of this movie theater, going behind the screen, up in the balcony. We didn't even establish a balcony yet.
No.
But they get up there later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that is how movie theaters are built, though, because, like, the punks show up in that weird alley, but I think they make theaters in such a way that, like, when the movie's done, you're supposed to hit the exit. Mm-hmm. Because you'd be running into all the people that are coming in for the other movies, or the next showing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just confusing later when the punks show up. Because I'm like, well, where are they? And they're trying to bust through the door. And
this is a huge building.
That's true.
And the asshole husband said something like, it must have cost somebody a small fortune to renovate this. She's like, well, I never knew this was here. Well, you don't pay attention to anything. It's just some sort of exchange like that. Yeah. He slams her throughout this thing.
I guess you always have to have that character, like in Night of the Living Dead, the guy that's just like complaining about everything.
Yeah. So the movie that they're watching, though, there's a whole scene where the other hooker, streetwalker, what should I call her?
Lady of the Night.
By her name?
Yeah,
Lady of the Night.
Let's just call him Rosemary. And what's the other girl's name?
And Rosemary 2.
Electric Boogaloo?
But no, I want to talk about the scene. It's just a woman that's in a tent, and there's a guy that's with a knife just stabbing through the tent.
Yeah, that's
as
Jerry.
She's just screaming.
I don't know what that girl must have been, just unrelated.
But that screaming goes on for a good 3-4 minutes.
It really does.
But it's setting up the other chick who's screaming.
Yes. I love this scene where she's kind of trying to get through the screen from the other side.
Just pushing on it and finally rips through it.
I mean, just walk around. But I guess she's not in her right mind. She's got that big, like...
No, she's got a huge, bubbling blue...
Ooh.
It's like Selsun blue coming out of this one.
It is very... Yeah. It's like a hair product of some sort.
Brought to you by Johnson & Johnson.
All right, so Liz and Powers Booth, I can't believe that he's like finger banging her right there next to her husband.
Or dad.
We
got to put that clause in there just in case.
Yeah.
Because I guess at some point they get up and start going over and to stand up and have sex.
Yeah.
While being wrapped in the curtains that are surrounding this.
Yeah.
Mysterious screen.
Yeah, don't really know where they're at.
Their death, I love.
It's silly.
It is super silly.
It looks very awkward. Like, I mean, you've just seen her like rip somebody's throat completely out of their body, but it looks like she just wants to kind of have fun with it. Like what other ways can I
mean, what do you expect from a demon? I guess you expect just more throat slashing from a zombie.
Right.
But as we've stated, this is not a zombie film.
No, exactly. We don't have any preconceived notions about what, their modus operandi or whatever. But I'm just looking at the grip that she's got on that rope. I just can't imagine that she can...
You don't think she has the strength or agility to wrap a rope around the lovers as they're making out? So to tell our audience, that she wraps the rope around their necks to then push them together, and he's still making out. There's blood all over him. He's still,
he's making the most out of it. I mean, look at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this might be the only time he gets laid in the next few months.
Well, I mean, since he's dying right here, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is true.
But yes, wrapping that rope around their necks and squishing them together. But doesn't she like throw her over the balcony later or something?
Yes. Well, she throws him over the balcony.
Okay.
And he's just hanging there looking like Powers Booth with ketchup all over his mouth.
So Liz and John Saxon went up into the balcony to make out?
They're in the balcony to begin with.
Oh, I see. I didn't.
Liz and that guy, be it her father or her lover or whatever, they're already in the balcony.
I did not know that.
It shows like a wide scene where he's just sitting there by himself and he's
Yeah, I thought that was kind of strange because I was like, well, the rest of the audience is up next to the screen when this was going on. So I just assumed he was just still sitting there. No, that makes more sense.
I mean, they don't make that very clear. That's just what I've kind of pieced together.
Anyway, so what's the other, what do we say the other?
Rosemary and maybe it's Carmen.
Oh, yes, that is her,
yeah.
Carmen.
Yeah. Carmen and Rosemary.
Fabiola Toledo.
I love the name Fabiola. She looks really good. I mean, like.
For a demon.
Prostitute. Demon sex worker.
Demon sex worker, please.
Are we to her transformation yet?
That's what I was just watching. So everybody was just crowded around her as she ripped through the back of the screen.
Yeah.
Liz and John Saxon, or Powers Booth,
being just smooshed together with that rope. And again, Goretta, it looks like she is having a blast doing that. Like, I mean, being in the movie and also her character is having fun killing these people. It's just a fun way to kill somebody.
It is. I'm with you.
So next is the scene of Jerry in the movie revealing that he is, infected or possessed too. And that playing behind them while they're kind of like just starting to freak out and think something is wrong is really cool looking. And then it cuts to him and he looks like he has Gerber mashed yams or something in his mouth that he's just kind of dribbling out, which is really gross.
When Tony the Pimp goes up to check on Carmen,
he's like, damn,
she's a friend of mine.
Yeah, a friend.
Again, I love his voice.
Yes.
It is so gruff.
Yeah, if you like riff tracks, he sounds exactly like the guy from Harlem. So check that out. He basically stole the voice. I love all the cool, like, little, like, burst capillary effect, like somebody just very finely painted on those little lines.
Oh, yes.
That looks really cool.
I dig that across the face.
You ever thrown up so hard that, like, you're just like, well, my eyes have to be completely bloody red now because that's as hard as I've ever strained doing anything. Also, there's not much, like, big creature effects, but one of them is definitely, I mean, there's the transformations, like the close-up on her teeth and the close-up on her nails. I love it that a couple of those nails like split down the middle before the big like talons come out. That looks really cool. And
right before that she starts to transform, Tony the Pimp just says, son of a bitch, shit.
Right, exactly.
And just like jumps back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, we're friends, but
I'm out
of here.
But yeah, her fingernails coming through and scratching the floor.
Yeah. All that looks awesome.
I do love the slow shot when it shows the tongue, the elongated tongue coming out of her mouth. That was very Beast Within-ish.
Yeah, like just a crazy prosthetic thing going on. All right, so dad/husband finds Liz, and she's got a big demon scratch on her face. So I'm assuming that eventually Goretta got tired of trying to strangle, or it just wasn't working. She was like, this is taking way too long. I need to rethink this. And then threw John Saxon over the balcony and then ripped her face off.
I think so.
Yeah.
When they throw John Saxon over the balcony, though, and he's just twitching and That just kind of starts the mayhem.
Yes, there's
everybody starts running in.
Yes, there's a stampede when everybody sees John Saxon. Also, you learn that there are like 100 people in the movie theater. When it showed the inside of the theater, there was like 10. And now there's this giant, like they're going to see the Who and, the 70s or whatever.
So I guess, when Goretta attacks the dad.
Blind guy?
Yeah, blind guy. Let's call him Blindy.
Okay.
Yeah, just tearing at his face and scratching at his eyeballs. But he doesn't transform right away.
No, he doesn't.
But when everybody starts freaking out, they go to the lobby and they start banging on the doors and they realize that the doors are fake and there's a brick wall behind it.
I had some questions about that too.
And somebody said that, when did they build this?
Right. And then, the redhead is just as panicked as everybody else, which makes me think that much like the movie in the movie, maybe this is just elaborate cosplay by the guy with the half metal face and the elf girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she looks just as surprised as everybody else when shit starts going wrong. So,
she ultimately gets turned as well.
Yep, she does. Oh my God. When Goretta, I love saying her name. When Rosemary rips that chick's scalp off.
I love it.
Oh my God. Barbarello,
mm-hmm.
His face, he looks like he's going to cry and call for his mommy because he is the top billed dude in this. And at every turn, I mean, he is helping out and doing kind of hero things, but he's just like, I don't want to go home. Even his little slim-hipped buddy is kind of tougher than he is sometimes. Also, I didn't say it earlier. Two things. The weird samurai bondage costume mannequin that's on the bike. The camera kind of passes back and forth, and you're looking at the mask, really. But once you start looking at that suit, it looks like a little kid might have done it for a project about Japan or something. But then it also looks kind of bondagey too, because it's got like a thing that goes over your face, and I think I just took for granted that it was supposed to be Asian, and then you look a little closer and it's like, oh, that's something very different. And the second thing, everybody is sweating. I mean, this must have been made like in the middle of August or something, because everybody is covered in what I assume is real sweat.
Real Italian.
People are sweatier.
That's how gelato's made.
You got to get that sweat from Italy. You can't get it from like New York or something. The very end of that scene where everybody's kind of panicking and stampeding, and the little lollipop kid's running around asking about his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's kind of shaking people and saying her name.
Hannah! Hannah!
He grabs a hold of Shut Up Guy's wife, I think, and he's kind of shaking her too as they're running out of that scene. Just looked funny to me because they're running, but he's still like giving her a good shake just to see if she's...
But Hannah was with him when they were clawing at the doors.
I didn't really understand.
And then somehow she made herself back into the theater, crawling on the floor, which is probably the most disgusting thing in this film.
Oh, the amount of espresso that's just like stuck to the floors. It's sort of like when you're driving down the road and you see a squirrel and he's like tensed up and you're like, no, don't do it. And he just runs the wrong way for no reason. That's kind of how I see her, is just like, she's so panicked that no telling where she ends up.
So they come up with the idea that they have to stop the movie.
Yeah.
They think the movie's causing this, that maybe if they stop the movie, then everything's going to become normal again? I
don't know. I'm trying to put myself in their position. That's not the first thing that I would think of, I don't think. I mean, it's really like, no, there's a maniac in here this is all part of his sick, like, fantasy or whatever, but it's not the movie. I mean, it is weird that things are playing out like the movie, but it just seems like a big staged thing.
Right.
Maybe they're just dumb.
I think so. I think they're dumb.
They got like herd mentality. So Tony the Pimp says something and they're just like, blah, 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 blah.
So why does Cheryl keep having this flash of the guy with the metal mask?
Unclear. Doesn't she see his reflection like in a mirror or something?
Yeah.
That actually looked really cool. Like a little mirage or something. Is that the only time he shows up?
No. I think he shows up near the end too. But, while she was in the very opening scene in the subway, she had a reflection of him there, and she hadn't even met him yet.
I don't know. Probably need to ask Nostradamus or something. When they bust into the projection room, I have been in a projection room before, but it looks like the set of Space 1999. Is that what they look like with a bunch of like lights and all that bullshit?
No.
Okay. Oh, well, I guess it could be just all fake because Tony does grab a stool.
Oh, they bust him up.
That thing just falls apart like it's made out of like graham crackers or something.
That was just them trying to say that, nobody's here. It's running on its own.
Yeah.
Who's behind this? Well, you guys were the ones thinking that if you stopped a movie, then all reality would come back into play.
Yeah. Calm down. All right. This is pretty much cut straight to the punks.
Yes.
Heavily air quoted punks. They all look like Sal Mineo from Rebel Without a Cause.
And they're super sweaty, too.
Yeah, they are. You're right.
Oh, that's what it says. Upbeat electronic music.
That guy in the back, Piggy, or whatever they call the one that actually does like the razor scene later.
Oh.
He looks like he would be jamming out to like
Menudo.
Yes, he would be very into Menudo. But instead it's like we said, it's kind of that like Christopher Cross song and they're fucking loving it.
These punks stole a car and are just joyriding. Were they trying to get Coca-Cola to finance this film?
I don't know. By filling a Coke can up with cocaine? Or was it part of a campaign to start putting Coke back in cocaine? I mean, back in Coca-Cola?
Put Coke back in cocaine.
Exactly. Yeah. That doesn't even make any sense. But the next time I do have a ton of cocaine, I am putting it in a Coke can with a bendy straw. Because that clearly is the only way to do that. That was making me laugh. What does he say? This shit could wake up the dead?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Those guys, they're some real punks.
Nina looks like she's 12.
Yes.
All of the punks' dialogue while they're in the car, every bit of that is just ADR.
Yeah. Like an alien said it.
Yeah, it's very plain, and it's almost like they were a second thought, like we had to, we needed something outside to show the normalcy, but how quickly everything turns to shit on the outside world.
Yes, which I love. I also think that they're trying to, just make it a little edgier by introducing like kind of those Euro trash. Like, I think they're just trying to give it that kind of MTV feel to it.
All right, reaching out to the Italian punk crowd. I got you.
Yeah. They have a powerful lobbying group.
We cut back to the movie theater to go back to everybody's coming up to the balcony in the movie theater. And that's where Tony the Pimp finds Liz there and her dad/husband crying over her with gouged out eyes. But quickly, Tony's like, we got to get rid of this bitch.
Got to get rid of that body. She's going to turn into a fucking demon.
But he didn't think that the dad/husband with the scratched eyes, he didn't have the same feelings towards him.
Well, I would like to see how George and he disagree about throwing a live old man over a balcony. It's kind of like willful ignorance on their part because they have Liz right there. They were going to throw her over, and then they just stopped to have like a conversation about that switchblade. Meantime, she turns into a zombie or a demon and bites Tony's leg. It's like they just lost sight of their short-term goals.
Bitchy husband
I guess he
shows up, and Tony stabs him a couple of times in the stomach, throws him over, launches him off the balcony.
Yeah, so they got three people. They've got John Saxon, or the guy that looks like John Saxon. the old man, the shut up guy, Liz thrown over the balcony and all dangling from that same rope.
The bitchy dad lands on the chairs down below and just starts spitting all that.
It looks like that scene in Drag Me to Hell where she falls out of the coffin and just like immediately barfs like a gallon of green shit all over her face.
That's hilarious. And that's why that Argento is not in any more of his films.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting a feeling that things work a little differently in Italy than they do over here in the States, especially child labor laws.
I was waiting for that.
Prostitution, just a different culture. And I think this movie is showing us that, which I appreciate.
Tony the Pimp is thinking pretty hard here. He's pretty straight about it, saying, hey, you know what we got to do? We got to block the entrances. Those things will get in here.
Yeah. Gotta hurry up before nothing but trouble plays on the next. That's what the real terror is that one's up next.
We can't get to this double feature. It's too bad that they killed him off so quickly, though.
Man.
Liz starts biting into his leg. He grabs that switchblade back.
From George, yeah.
From him, and just starts jabbing in the back.
Yeah.
That's when John Saxon climbs back up the rope that he's hanging from.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say earlier about like when, where, how this is all happening. George says that at a certain point. He's like, or maybe it's the little willowy friend that says, he's like, what are you guys doing? Watch the balcony or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But he's saying that that's how the other, I don't know. He's saying that rope is how they got back up.
How the asshole husband came up there? Yeah.
Which
we don't know how he got up there. He just showed up. That's fine.
Right.
But George was being a real wimp about cutting that rope and cutting John Saxon free.
What?
But when he went over the edge with Liz, John Saxon, and Tony the Pimp all dangling there on that rope, he didn't waste any time. He's like, all right, fuck these guys.
Right. Like Tony the Pimp was like, had to show him how a knife works.
And this transformation. I think at that point is when he becomes the hero of the film. Yeah. And he's like, too. I can do anything. I am strong. I know how to ride a motorcycle and swing a sword. Yeah. Okay, so
here comes
Billy Idol.
The cocaine scene. It's a white wedding. I'm not gonna lie, I'm into it, but that girl she looks like she has circuit boards from like a old telephone or something in her ears.
I didn't realize that. Nice earrings, yeah.
It looks like they took the case off of two garage door openers and just like tied them to her ears.
They're all fighting over the cocaine. They spill it.
Yeah.
But
no, we don't need to spend any amount of time on that weird scene.
How them cleaning up the cocaine and the razor blade. Okay, let's just not mention it then. Because that was bothersome because she looks like she's 12.
Yep. Same thing that's bothering me as I'm watching it right now.
I looked her up and she has...
Not in much.
No, there's nothing in her real credit history. She doesn't have a bio. So I have no idea how old she was.
Oh my God, it's so funny watching. Now they're breaking through the wall.
That wall is made out of like ceramic.
I think it's tiramisu, and they're just like getting through the layers.
You said that really weird, by the way.
I don't know.
Tiramisu.
George says, all right, it's big enough. It literally is like, are they moving a couch from that room into the other room? Like 3 people side by side could get through it.
But this confused me because they break through the wall to try to find a way out. They don't really find a way out, so they all just kind of go back? Or do part of them stay and the others keep going? It was all confusing.
They're basically one giant organism at this point. They're like plankton or something, and they're all following George.
But I thought this would lead to something else other than there's no exit. I mean, they're in a room that looks like a cellar that has brick walls. They've highly established this brick wall.
Yeah, I mean, all movie theaters have a giant brick, like French underground room, right?
Right, because that's exactly what you want in a movie theater is acoustic reverb. Right?
Yes, exactly. That's how the filmmakers intended for you to be slightly damp and echoey. I just looked up and George is comforting some girl that I have never seen before. This is just a random girl in the cellar.
Just a random girl.
The movie theater cellar.
Yeah, even Ursula, the usherette or whatever her name is, she's kind of freaking out as she's down here.
Right.
So we have two groups split up. It doesn't even matter. They're just waiting to be attacked.
Demon fodder.
Yeah, that's why we have so many different characters. I got confused during watching the film too, because when we go back to the punks and they try to break into the movie theater.
Right. I'm so confused about where they are. That's why I was saying that alley that they end up down, that's what it looks like to me, is those are the exit doors, like opposite the front of the Metropole.
Which is a dead end alley.
Right. Oh my God, dude. It really looks like the alley from American Werewolf in London where they kill him at the end.
Yeah. But as soon as they run in, then
yeah,
the cops chase them down the alley. They get in through the side door, but then there's the blind dad/husband.
Liz's cuck is what we'll just call him from now on. How did he get outside?
See, that's what I had a question about. I had to rewind it to the first time we were watching to see.
Does it actually show him?
The punks run in, he runs out.
Okay, I must have missed that. It happens too fast or something.
But he's just kind of laying on the ground and the cops go to find him.
He looks the most like the Mask when he kind of growls at him. His teeth are all,
And how did the blind guy, the blind demon guy even find his way back outside and nobody else could?
There's like 30 18 to 20-year-olds and they're just running around in a circle, and the old blind guy made it outside. If you changed wigs on the girl and the boy that end up in the duct, you wouldn't know either one of them apart. They're basically the only way to identify them is by the hair on their head.
And that's Hannah and her boyfriend, right? And they're climbing through the air duct to try to get away. The demon scratching.
Yes.
That was kind of creepy. This kind of gives you an alien feel, right? Or aliens.
That boy is like, come to Germany. We'll watch a movie. Have a few laughs. I'm sorry. That was a dumb Die Hard joke.
I enjoyed it. Apologize to the audience, not to me.
Sorry, guys. This does look like the worst movie to work on. These actors and actresses are just going through hell.
Oh, yeah. So I love this. So Nina decides to put on lipstick in the back room of this. But that's where the chick that got her scalp ripped off.
She's there too.
Where she comes back. That's almost very dead alive-ish there too.
Yes, it looks like the nurse, I think, is who looks like that in Dead Alive. I thought the same thing.
So yeah, you are totally correct when the zombies start coming up that stairwell and with the glowing eyes. Yeah, Tony the Pimp is front and center. Yeah.
It looks very cool.
It looks super cool. It almost appears that you could see straight through their skull and the light coming through the back almost.
Do you really need a plot? That sometimes that just gets in the way. You know what I mean?
And sometimes you have too much of a plot.
Yes. We need to trim back that plot a little bit. It's not confusing enough. It's like they were trained to make movies the opposite. They're trying to make them more incoherent. Sometimes that makes it scarier. Also, sometimes you don't need a reason for some of these things to happen. They just happen.
And as we'll find out in Demons 2, that doesn't necessarily follow this film and the mass hysteria. So our crew is up in the balcony and they think they hear somebody coming to rescue them.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. If only they had a strong male figure that could pull them all together, it would definitely not be George. Could have been Tony the Pimp.
Oh, I love when Tony the Pimp pops up.
Yes. He just like bursts through.
Just gonna
Yeah. Somebody stop me. Turns into the Mask all of a sudden a little bit.
Lots of throats being ripped out. Lots of people being thrown around.
Yeah, lots of people being tossed around. Some of them look like they might actually be on like one of those air,
They're wearing moon shoes.
Yeah, boring. Boring. I love it that there's a samurai sword.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I'm just a sucker for that, but...
There's one scene where, is it Liz is squishing some girl's head into a movie theater seat?
Yeah. I love George, I'm sorry, I'm watching their little thing play out where his buddy is infected.
Oh.
And he takes a big, long, home run swing at his head, chops it off. How did he drive that bike over the seats?
Mm-hmm. See, now, that's when you're looking in too far.
Yeah, I guess I should just, I have to use, A-team logic, that just happened.
It just happened.
When you're a hero, sometimes it's like Remo Williams,
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just
walk on water.
Yeah, you can do fantastic things.
I think this whole setup for the entire movie was just so you could get our main character on a motorcycle with a samurai sword driving around the theater in loops. Yeah. Just slashing at everybody.
Yeah, he's conveniently ripped the sleeves off of his shirt. He's basically like a rodeo clown for these demons. And the punks are in that group that are kind of trying to attack him and the girl.
Mm-hmm.
The young blonde girl, she just doesn't have any makeup on at all. Any special effects makeup.
No, she's just like, ah.
She just vaguely looks like Linnea Quigley, and that's the only thing that she's got happening.
But we failed to mention the actual demon birth scene.
Oh my God, yes. I forgot.
Totally skipped over that.
Yeah. That was right before they get the bike and the sword.
Right.
Yeah, that is pretty great. Also, just very Evil Dead. I mean, it doesn't look like a very hard effect to...
No.
You just have a close-up on whatever that is, and then the person in makeup just kind of bursts up through it like a birthday cake or something.
And this is Cheryl's friend, right?
Yes.
Kathy, maybe? Doesn't matter. So she is Kathy. Saved by... Ken, is that his name? It doesn't matter. Still doesn't matter. The other guy.
Gun. Yeah.
And she has been scratched, but she's on all fours, and her back is just pulsating.
She's like doing a cat flip, like a yoga type thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's that called?
Cat stretch.
It's cat stretch, or I've got nothing more clever than that.
I bet she's got cat scratch fever.
Oh.
Wow, wow, wow. Sorry. Uncle Ted.
The full-size demon being birthed out of her back is then reminiscent of Extro.
Yep, right? A little bit, yeah. And he just looks like a gargoyle.
He definitely looks like a gargoyle.
It's a very specific makeup that they chose. Like the teeth spaced apart like that,
Mm-hmm.
Very effective. I don't know exactly what the origin of that is, but looks real cool. I guess I'm just wondering what they, chicken and the egg type thing. Did they have the mask, so they made the makeup look like the mask, or?
I don't know. I do like how that Ken decided to pull the sword down and say, kill me with this.
Yeah. Very video game-like. Okay, George, after his... demolition derby murder-thon, a helicopter falls from the roof. A full helicopter. It is not a prop.
It does not look like a prop.
No, it is a real helicopter that they just fucking dropped through a hole in the ceiling. He breaks his way into the helicopter. He's crying the entire time, by the way. Wetting his pants, I assume, in the process. Draco Noir, completely worn off by now. Is he thinking that he is going to get the helicopter started and then just float up through the roof? I mean, he can see that those blades are really bent.
Yes.
And they're touching the ground.
This is where I thought he went total Michael Dudikoff here, right?
Yes.
Because he came into this not knowing how to do anything.
No.
Besides get a Coke out of a fake machine.
Yes.
And now he rides a motorcycle. He knows how to wield a sword.
He's become a badass.
And now he knows how to start a helicopter.
Yeah.
This is Day of the Dead ripoff.
Yeah.
And I think that's all they wanted to do was to just get the blades spinning.
For a couple of kills.
They're barely even spinning.
Yeah. I mean, that one demon...
He kind of just launched himself into it.
Yeah,
right?
He had to help a little bit. Do all Italian helicopters come with a grappling hook, or is that just a...
And he knows how to use a grappling hook.
He puts it all together and he's like, yep, this is what I was meant to do.
The only way we can get out of here is by...
Yeah, is doing a lame Star Wars kind of... That does look funny, though, both of them like going up like that. Also, I guess now they are hearing like noise from outside that makes it seem like that it is spread beyond the theater, which I absolutely love. Very dark.
It doesn't set any of that up except for sound effects.
Right. Yes. You don't see evidence of any of this. You just hear people like, "Rabba, rabba, rabba," like, and things blowing up. And the helicopter, I guess.
They still think they're going to be okay. Yeah. The helicopter falling from the ceiling.
They're like, whew, made it out of there. And then we see, what's a good name? Not Chrome face, Chrome Dome. No, but his dome isn't chrome.
His dome isn't chrome.
It's a weird little like Horseshack afro kind of.
Yeah, that was very odd because so they're on the roof of the theater. They think they're home free. You really get to hear the outside sounds when Chrome Face shows up and is still just kind of very much Frankensteinish. Yeah. And his movements and his growls.
If somebody was going to explain the plot, this would probably be the time to do it. But no.
Nope.
So she stabs him with the grappling hook, obviously. And then they create kind of like it's like they're going to snapple his head off, like you'd like try an alternate way to get a beer bottle open or something.
And granted, he just tried to kill them.
Yeah.
But they don't waste any time saying, all right, well, this guy's got to die.
Yeah. What do we got? Rebar?
Yeah, I got rebar. I got a pipe. I'm going to force his face down on the rebar by using our leverage.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. Really, he is not a demon.
Right.
They are just committing murder.
Yeah. Yeah. They've become very cool, very easy breezy with just killing people. Which, we don't know what we would do in that situation, I guess.
I do love that when they're on the roof and they start looking around to see that everything has gone mass hysteria, throughout.
Yeah, everything's just mass hysteria. Women have continued not to wear any bras. It's crazy.
Fire, destruction.
Motley Crue.
This is within an hour of infection.
Yeah, that happened very quickly. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of like Life Force a little bit, where everything kind of, it's not as good as that movie, but everything kind of escalates very quickly.
How she's kind of just holding on to him, and he's kind of dragging her around.
We could be going twice as fast if you would just...
She was way stronger when she was in the theater.
Yeah, she's like, oh.
I can't go any further. They're right behind us. Hurry.
That's what's kind of weird about this movie is, spoiler alert, but you think normally she would be the one to make it out.
Yeah, this usually a final girl.
Yeah. I don't know if they're trying to kind of subvert that by going back again and making a man. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So they made it out of the theater. They're running down the street, seeing all the mass hysteria, and they get picked up by a dad and his 2 kids who are obviously okay with the demon apocalypse.
Yeah. They seem like any family in Arkansas who would just be waiting for this to happen. Are you freaking kidding me? That is Bob. Bob is in the Jeep, is he not?
Oh, no, that can't be him.
I guarantee you. Oh, I renounce this podcast and everything that it stands for. You personally told me we would never see that kid again. And boom, there it is.
It's not him. It's not him.
I know too much about Bob. It is him. Oh, man, they've got those funny little machine guns, those little submachine guns.
Oh, yes.
I guess that must be an Italian military, like, real weapon, because in all of these movies, somebody eventually has one of those, like, they sort of look like those grease guns where the magazine feeds in, like, sideways.
Oh, my God. You are so correct. I found him. Kirk is the kid, uncredited. That is Giovanni Frezza, who played Bob Boyle in House by the Cemetery. Damn it, I hate it when you're right.
Oh, I'd like to make Bob Boyle. Giant stock pot. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be. He's just...
But he does great in this. He's eating while he's shooting demons. I mean...
I think he's just eating the top of a hamburger bun.
Yeah. And he hounds out guns to everybody else.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be in... I think we've talked about this before, about if we had a chance to be in a mob that kind of gathers at the bar. You know, they've had a few shots of Jaeger. They've got their shotguns with them, obviously. Let's just... It's almost like they're just waiting for it, you know?
Yeah.
Waiting for the apocalypse.
It's about time.
Yep.
I've been here for hours.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm kind of looking ahead at Demons 2. It's going to be pretty great.
All right.
Bobby Rowe. Oh, that's why I was looking at it, is because you were talking about the people that do the voices. Mm-hmm. Same guy in Demons 2 does a guy named Hank. And I just have to assume that Hank is played by, what's his name? Randy Rhoads? That's the guitarist. Victor Beard.
Yes.
He did Tony for Demons, and he did a guy named Hank for Demons 2.
Did he?
Yes, and I'm just thinking that has to be Hank the Pimp now, I guess.
That is hilarious.
Oh, man, so much to get confused about. And we're doing this willingly.
I want to stumble through many more Italian films.
Yeah. I think by Demons 4, they should iron out all of the plot problems. And then it's over, you know? She turns into a demon.
I love how Cheryl turns into the demon.
Yeah, pretty shocking.
Well, I mean, it's post-credit sequence.
Right, exactly. They've already started rolling. That is a weird choice to do that, but...
Yeah. You know, the camera kept easing in on the back of her head. Kind of kept expecting it, and then it finally happens. And Bob takes no hesitation whatsoever to plug two in.
He's still chewing while he's brandishing a gun.
Yeah. And George kind of feels sad. He almost reaches for her, like, no, I didn't get laid yet.
I just saw like the top of her knee. All that I'm getting out of this.
This is the hardest that anybody has ever worked to get laid, and he still doesn't get to.
Nope.
He doesn't.
Nope.
There is very little nudity in this.
Yeah, one boob.
And what is, we don't want to talk about.
There's one. There's not even a set of breasts. There's just one.
There's a lot of nudity in many of the Italian horror.
Oh, I would say it's a staple of Italian cinema.
I watched several trailers of Italian films because I just went down trails that I can't possibly drag us down right now.
Not right now. but
Not
eventually,
right now. But eventually, we're going there.
for sure.
But the trailers are softcore porn.
Basically, yeah. They had no problem with...
None whatsoever.
But, they do things differently in Italy.
Do they?
I think it's one of those places where just like in the middle of the day, people just go like eat some toasted bread and just take a little nap. And then they just get up and like...
I start drinking at noon.
Yeah, everybody's drunk on wine.
Yeah. Is that why there's so much bread? Is that you've got to have something to soak up the wine?
That's all they subsist on is just bread and wine. Which,
okay.
I mean, it was...
And the body of Christ. I mean...
Fine for everybody in the Bible. Why is it not? It's a classic. We knew we were going to do it eventually, and I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Demons 2.
Which we are going to waste no time into jumping right into Demons 2. We're starting it right now, right?
Yep. I can do another one. I got coffee left. We'll just do a commentary. We'll just let it play, and we'll just free associate.
That's what we do anyway, isn't it?
We're not supposed to... You said that out loud.
No, we spend days researching.
Months even.
Yes.
Well, let's not get carried away. I literally finished the movie right before we started the podcast. I've had a week to do it.
So, are we saying Asia and not Asia or
It's
Asia
Asia.
Argento?
Asia. Her name is pronounced Asia.
Asia. So Asia Argento comes back for Demons 2.
Yep.
And not the girl who played Hannah. What was her name? Doesn't matter. The other Argento who said,
Fiore.
You better take this shit somewhere else.
So she was in her 20s, and it's looking like Asia's like really like 10 or something in Demons 2. So she's her much older sister. Asia, when she started acting, she had no doubt what she was going to do. It'll be fun to look at her IMDb.
Asia was 11 when this came out.
Wow.
So, yeah, being the daughter of Dario Argento is going to subject you to a lot of things early on.
I think that Fiore, I think they have different
that's
mothers.
a stepsister.
Right.
Yes.
Those women must be gorgeous because, I mean, I'm not trying to, it's neither here nor there, but Dario is not,
Yeah,
he is
he's not studly.
No, not at all. But he is Italian, so you have to assume he's been at the beach in a Speedo before. So just get that image.
Daughter of Dario Argento and Daria Nicolodi.
That's the girl from...
Yes. Deep Red.
Yeah, exactly.
She was in Suspiria.
Yes. Yeah, Marissa Casal is Fiore's mom. Former sister-in-law of Claudio. Okay, whew, man, this is... Yeah, we're gonna have
We're gonna get deep.
I just hit a Claudio, and I'm like, oh boy. I'm gonna have to like limber my tongue up for this Italian stuff, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah.
We'll get into all of that maybe in this next one, because I think...
Or the one after that, or the one after that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of mopping up after this.
Yeah.
Double feature of Demons and Demons 2.
Well...
And I feel like we've been all over the place today.
I think you're going to get that when you don't have A to B to C, It's just like, well, here's this guy again, and now they're running over there. I mean, it's not, that's not our fault. It's the way the movie's made.
But it's a great movie.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yes.
Still loved it. I loved it when I saw it when I was a teenager, and still love it. It's just fun.
Gates of Hell as I knew it, and this movie are, I'm pretty sure that Chaz Ballin had something to do with me, like, tracking these down to find them, because Italian movies were his thing too, so
Is that it?
Those two movies really opened my eyes about what horror movies could be, and turns out they're really gross.
Yeah, they're not afraid to pump it up.
No, they're not.
And to get absurd with it.
Yeah, get absurd and just like just go beyond in order to make somebody blow chunks, really. That's the point of all these.
Sure. Have you blown chunks today?
Not today.
Hey, kids, have you blown chunks today?
No, I'm saving it all for later.
All right. All right, well, join us next week when we continue to blow chunks with Demons 2.
Tim? Demoni 2.
Oh, Demoni 2.
I still cannot think about the title for this without thinking of Count Demoni in History of the World.
Oh, I can't think of Demoni without thinking
Demoni
of more Billy Idol songs.
Yeah. William Idol.
All right, well, let's wrap this bitch up.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Next week we're going to get into Demoni 2.
Mm-hmm.
Demons 2, directed by Lamberto Bava.
Oh, Lamberto, what won't you do?
Another Dario Argento presents.
Yep.
And we'll go into a lot more behind the making of, hopefully soon. We have so much more to talk about. We've barely gotten started.
Wow.
So let's wrap this up and say, hey, if you'd like to help us continue this venture into the land of nasty horror movies, as we love to do so often. And this isn't even what we created the moratorium for. We just have a lot of fun in the 80s horror realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you'd like to help us keep this going, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month.
Wow.
Cheap stuff. And by helping us out, we can create and help build the moratorium into what empire it could be.
Ooh.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
I can't imagine. I have no idea. This is my full part-time gig.
Will we pay people to watch these movies instead of us?
Oh, could we do that?
Oh
no,
my God.
no.
That would.
Can we charge people to watch these films?
Yeah, I think we probably.
Okay. For as little as $3 a month, you can become a bigger part of the moratorium, and I'll start throwing you some goodies for $3 a month. You can get the director's cuts of our movie episodes.
That's a savings.
It's cheap entertainment.
It is.
That's exactly what we are. We're cheap entertainment.
Yeah.
That's why my wife keeps me around.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jason, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
Well, you can go to themoratorium.com for starters.
Which has a link to everything.
Everything?
Well, it has a link to the internet. The internet has everything.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Okay, how about that?
Yeah. That's,
You want the answers to life? Go search them on your own time.
Yep. You want the Butterball Turkey emergency hotline? That's on there for some reason.
But links to all of our movies. Man, I put links to crap up there that you wouldn't even think of that we've talked about.
Yeah.
I'll even put that extra behind the scenes thing, which was really not necessarily about demons, but we did watch the behind the scenes that said it was demons related.
Okay.
I'll have a link to that up there so anybody can watch it if they want to.
Great.
You can also check out our blog. So Krista Funk writes some cool freaking true crime stories for our blog on the moratorium. The only place you can find her stuff is on the moratorium. So check her out.
Yep.
And follow us on social media. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, we're anxious to hear from you.
Please email us, you freaks.
Tell us what we did wrong.
Tell us what we did right. I bet one outdoes the other. Which one will it be?
I don't know. Let's take a poll.
Okay.
Caller on the line.
Hello. Oh God, that's the quality that you'll get if you subscribe to our Patreon.
All right, let's break this bitch down. Jason, do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
All right, until next week when we go straight back into some more Italian horror flicks.
Can't wait.
We will see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh man, how do you say bye in Italian?
Ciao. Hey, ciao, baby.
That was good.
You've been listening to The Moratorium, an MT Cornfield production. Tune in next week for a conclusion of our Dario Argento double feature with Demons 2. It's going to be a blaster. If you have any movie suggestions, or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS.
The next time I do have a ton of cocaine, I am putting it in a Coke can with a bendy straw. Because that clearly is the only way to do that.